Good. Are we morning or afternoon? I guess it depends what seat you're sitting in, or what state you're sitting in, or what part of the world you're sitting in. But we appreciate you and welcome to another edition of The Pit Stop here with us here at Agency Revolution. Super excited that everybody's carved out some time for us today. I see people coming in fast and furious. So as we are doing so, just a few housekeeping items before we get into the heavy introductions of I'm going to call us stars of the show, Lucas. I think the stars of the star of the Pit Stop is Agency Revolution and our clients. But with that said, some housekeeping items. Please, we always have a Q&A at the end of the Pit Stop if this is your first time, but we encourage questions and engagement throughout the whole thing. And I wholeheartedly believe that you're going to have some questions, comments, thoughts as we go through this. So please use the Q&A section within within Zoom. At the bottom, you'll see the Q&A. Use it. Fire any questions you have in there. We'll absolutely answer those live on the webinar here as we work through. And so, today is we're going to get into it, and we're talk about something that's very real for everybody. One of the unique things that we get to do here at Agency Revolution is talk to independent insurance agencies all day, every day, and everybody's things are always different for everybody, but there seems to be a little bit of commonality is the remarketing and carriers leaving and coming or stop running business in the hard market. So we're going to get into that, but before we do that, let's do some intros, Lucas. This is me. So my name is Joel. I am the insurance evangelist here at Agency Revolution. And yes, I add the with emphasis because I think it's important. Please, would love to hear from you. If you want to connect with me on LinkedIn, would love to do so. This is myself and our middle son, I guess, Gage, and my lovely wife, Natasha, on a recent adventure. And so if I guess a little bit a deeper introduction here, because we never know exactly who's logging in here, give a little bit of a more background of what makes me the insurance evangelist, aside from people like Lucas acknowledging that maybe we got to give this guy a title, is the fact that I was an independent insurance agent for 11 years, was fortunate enough to be a client of Agency Revolution for 8 of those, and been here now for 8 years. So it has been my life's work to be and work with independent insurance agencies, finding out what's going on in your world, and love to learn more and help you grow. So that's me. Lucas, who are you?
Lucas Jans here, co-founder of Agency Revolution, and so excited to be doing what I love doing with the folks I love doing it with. But I'm also, Joel, I'm a little happy to be about 6,000 miles away from you. I understand you throw random family members into a swimming pool when they're fully clothed. I just learned that. So I think all of us, summer fun, water fun, it's great in the summer to hang out. Just watch out for Joel. If you're near a pool, you might toss you in.
It is true. As Lucas advised, I just told him just before this, I'm over the moon, excited all day. It's been a great day because I threw my sister-in-law in the pool yesterday, and it's been something I probably have pent up wanting to do for about 20 some odd years. So really, really, really good day for me. Anywho, yeah, so I don't traditionally throw people. It takes me about 20 years to work up the nerve to throw you in the pool. So anywho, but there is video evidence, which is always what you want. But this is the Pit Stop. This is the Pit Stop, not throwing people in the pool. So Lucas, as we jump in here and we start talking about things, do we have anything new going on here before we get into the nuts and bolts of maximizing efficiency in the hard markets, as our list says here?
Yeah, absolutely. We got a couple of announcements. Let's just jump right into that. So first, things that are coming soon, things that we're working on here at Agency Revolution around our Forge and Fuse products. We've got multiple pipelines coming. So this will allow those clients using the Fuse product to have different pipelines for different workflows in their agency, maybe a commercial lines workflow or a rewrite workflow, so that you can track that business as you're bringing that through the pipeline, and the ability to customize the pipeline. So adding different steps to your process. We have a lot of fun stuff coming around pipelines in the next few months. Awesome. We are automating our Epic integration. We've got, quite a few customers on Applied Epic, and the report integration's slow and no fun. So we're going to take away the no fun part and make it all fun, and automate it for you. more information on that. On all of these things, these are not yet ready. So if you were to call our customer support team and say, give me that, they're going to be like, oh, not yet. It's not available yet. I'm giving you the tease. I'm giving you a preview of what's coming. So these are all coming soon. And texting call forwarding as well. So if you get a brand new number on our texting solution, we'll be able to forward anybody who calls that phone number into your main office line. So these things will all be ready by the end of the quarter, October 1st, if not sooner. That's our commitment on these development items.
Jerry's got a question. He wants an ETA, but Jerry, we're not telling you the ETA because you got a call with me right after this and we'll chat about it then. But maybe Lucas does have an ETA. I'm pretty sure he's talking about the automated Epic integration.
The point that we're trying to make here is we're always improving the product. We're always making it better, Jerry. So yeah, give Joel a call. He'll take care of you. He is the insurance evangelist, right? So give him a ring.
So enough with the tease. What do we got today? I know you got something for me.
I was teasing like what is coming soon, but actually I got a little tease about something we just finished building that I think is pretty compelling, and it brings our Forge website solution closer with our Fuse marketing communication stack. And that's web chat. So we've got the ability now to embed web chat on your websites. And so you can have conversations with your customers right there. But we built this in kind of a unique way. One of the problems with web chat that you're probably thinking about is who's going to answer those web chats when they come in? And somebody's got to be logged into the software to answer those questions. Here's a framing to think about it. When somebody visits your website, on our Forge websites, like the average time in site's about 7 minutes. If somebody's on a non-Forge website, it might be shorter than that. If you're not responding in like half of that time, there's a good chance that the person who started a web chat has already logged off your website, and now you have no way to get in touch with them. So how did we build this? We built it fully integrated into the Fuse texting platform. So when you start, when a client starts or a prospect starts a web chat conversation on your website, it'll then start a text message conversation. So even if they log off, you can continue that conversation no matter where they are, reach them right in their pocket. So that's web chat that's now available for all of our Fuse customers. If you have Fuse and Forge, we'll automatically embed that on your website for you. Just reach our team at agencyrevolution.com is our email, and ask us to turn that on, and we will. And if you're a Fuse client, you can just log in and grab the embed code and send it to your webmaster to put it on any web platform that's out there. So that's brand new web chat for Fuse clients. With
Lucas, this is awesome. So I think a lot of people, when they think chat, they like the novelty of it in this industry. But the reality is web chat really requires someone to almost have the pulse on it all the time. But who has time for that? To your point, people end up leaving the website and then we don't know who it is. And I'll venture a guess that a high percentage of people that are going to come to your website and chat are probably clients, right? About something. So this is a phenomenal way for you not to lose touch and not necessarily, I mean, it's important to monitor chat and text, but man, as an agency owner or even someone working in an agency, if I had to have a chat platform open, I have to have a text platform open. I have my management system. I get all these things open. It's a total nightmare. So having it all in one place makes total sense. And I think functionality wise will really pay dividends for an agency.
That's right. If it's all in one place, then you don't need one more system to monitor and keep track of. And that's what we built here, just an easy way for people to get answers quickly when they have a question. If you want to check out a demo, we've got a quick example over here on this website. I don't know if you would fill it out like a client would fill in the web chat, put in their phone number over there. Hope if I knew my own phone number, there we go. And can I get a driver ID card? Yeah, somebody could quickly send a message like that. That'll immediately pop up. You can see I've already got an incoming chat request right there, and it identifies who the chat came from, which page on your website they came from as well. And the cool thing is it'll automatically pop in a message to the person who started the chat saying, hey, this is the agency. We're going to take care of you. We'll get back to you very soon. So this is doing it with our texting solution, all in one, all integrated, designed to make it easy for your clients to reach you.
Philip's got a question coming in there that's super relevant to this conversation, Lucas. So, Philip, thanks for the question. The question is chat, text, chat, question mark, text, question mark, same question mark. Does Agency Revolution offer a standalone integrated with the website text tool?
That's a great question. A product manager like myself would love to answer that. Right now, it's integrated into the Fuse tool. So you need to have Fuse and Forge to take advantage of this capability. The texting add-on is just $50 a month on top of the Fuse subscription. We are considering options in the future. We don't have any plans right now to create a standalone text and web chat tool yet, but it's something we're thinking about. So take a look at Fuse anyway. If you haven't already, there's a lot of value there. It's worth at least having a look.
Question there. Thank you, Philip, for the question. I'll just add one on myself. Is there any cost for web chat for clients of Agency Revolution and Fuse clients?
Yeah, if you are a texting client today, you'll see this right now, and there's no cost. So it's in your account already. You just click on the settings and click on the chat widget. But if you're a client of ours and you also have a Forge website, we'll set this up for you for free. Just team@agencyrevolution.com. It's our job to take care of you. If you're all in one with us, we're all in one, here to serve you.
Got it. Awesome. Love the new stuff. So I guess now we need to get back into why we're here to start with.
Yeah.
Like, this is real, Lucas. Like, I think there's I'm going to get probably lots of boos here for saying this. I think there's no better time to be an independent insurance agent than during a hard market. I didn't say it was easy. I just said I think there's no better, but you need to start leveraging things to save time and streamline, because you're going to have remarkets. You're going to have all these questions that we know are coming, or complaints, questions from both carriers and your clients.
Right. Every agent's feeling the pain right now. Carriers across the country are making changes. So the question is, which agencies are going to take advantage of the situation and find those ways to do it better than their peers? Absolutely. And how can they do that?
Absolutely.
Cool.
Absolutely.
Let's jump into so we got a few things to chat about here. Number one, automating, building deeper client relationships. Why is now the time that we need to set this client relationship building on autopilot?
Well, it's always been the time, but now it's really important, right? Because if at an agency, if you can retain better, if you can boost your retention, and retention comes from relationship, that's what it is. People choose independent insurance agencies for their expertise and the relationship they provide. If you can deepen those relationships now, keep or build your retention higher, the carriers are going to take care of a lot of revenue boost for you, because across the board, if they're not leaving, they're increasing rates. So 10, 15, I've heard as high as 50% rate increases. So if you can keep those people loyal to you, there's going to be substantial profit gains here for you.
Right. So the carriers are going to take care of the increase in premium for you, but you got to take care of keeping your existing clients.
Yes.
That's the key at the moment. However, aren't agents just so busy these days taking care of like rewrites and research on quotes and a little bit of underwriting in some cases? Do they have time for that?
No, they never have. They never do. So they're in this. For those of you we're in this antiquated conversation back and forth here. But these are real conversations that you're likely having within your office or within yourself. You don't have time. So here's what remains very factual and true. Your clients have always wanted to hear more from you. In fact, they expect to hear more from you. And right now, they absolutely need to hear more from you. But the problem is you don't have time, because you're always dealing there. I always say when I was an independent insurance agent, I always said there's always somebody with their hair on fire. And now there's always people with hair on fire because I'm having big increases, I'm being non-renewed, whatever the case may be. But then people they want to hear more from you. You don't have time, and they don't want your garbage. So there's really only one way to effectively do that and live up to client expectations. And that's leverage the greatest source of data that an agency has, which is their agency management system. You need to, and so to automate that effective communication through the entirety of your book is critical. But then we can, of course, we can discuss how to maybe get more targeted with that conversation too, Lucas.
Yeah, absolutely. So we need to help agents automate that connection, automate those relationships, and be there for their clients at the right moment. Give us some examples of like the types of communication that we should be sending right now. What's the checklist every agency should follow today to make sure they're not slipping on this?
Well, there's what I would call the commonality ones. I think there's, of course, if you are able to write new clients or even rewriting people to new carriers, you may want to welcome them to a new carrier, introduce them things. So a little bit of an onboarding, depending which way. Of course, things like account review are absolutely critical. And then there's some of those outside nurturing things that I think, regardless of hard market, soft market, things like what to do in the event of a claim, I think we're all dealing with. Certainly here in my locale, we're dealing with some extreme weather happenings, and people need to know these things. But then I think you need to dive deeper here. I believe, and I've talked to agents that have explained to me on a call what it means if a client comes to them and is not happy and decides to leave. So if you're on this call and you haven't heard this story, or I'm totally off point here, chat in and correct me, but there's the real possibility that someone comes, they're real upset about an increase that a carrier is providing. They decide, hey, I'm going to go to this other provider because they can provide it to me cheaper. So they go over there, and particularly in small commercial, even other properties, the problem is yeah, they accept that business, but then there could be an inspection or they need additional underwriting. And when they get that additional underwriting, they decide, hey, this isn't a risk for me anymore, says the new carrier. And so and oftentimes, so at that point, then they have to tuck their tail and come back to you and say, oh my goodness, I do want that renewal. But it turns out you've already obviously canceled that renewal. And now that carrier will not accept that as new business. So now this person's in all because they thought they might save 10, 15, 20%, whatever have you. This is the information that you need to be educating people with on the perils of potentially leaving a carrier. What is a hard market? That is not just something that we need to know as insurance professionals. We need to have the ability to explain this to our clients so they can make educated decisions. And I love this statement, Lucas.
Yeah, Benjamin Franklin, great American. Benjamin Franklin, this says, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. How can the agents get out there and be proactive to educate their clients? Our clients don't know. They don't know the complexities of this business. They're leaning on us as agents, as trusted advisors, to guide them through what could be a very turbulent and disruptive time in their business. How do we get out there ahead of that so that we don't run into the situation where the client comes back to us later and said, why didn't you tell me before?
Absolutely. I've probably said it certainly on the pit stop and other webinars. If you've been on a call with me and you've heard this, sorry, not sorry. Price only matters in the absence of value. And if you're not adding education, if you're not adding value, I assure you, people go to the lowest common denominator, which is the number at the bottom of the page. And I think we all know at this stage that is a very small piece of the equation. And so stay proactive. If a carrier is leaving, tell those clients. Yeah. If a carrier is non-renewing, tell those clients. If they're expecting a high increase, tell them, explain it. Some will inevitably go. I'm sure of it. They will, and they may find themselves. But the vast majority, once again, the reason they chose you in the first place was your expertise, was the relationship, and they will value that.
So if we're getting out there and we're communicating with our clients, they're not all the same. We shouldn't treat them all the same, or we start to really annoy them. Like if I'm a homeowner's client or a personal lines client only, don't educate me about the difficulties of the hard market as it relates to commercial lines, for example. We should be treating clients for who they are in their segment and their different demographic. I've got a few examples here, like a carrier. If certain carriers are facing particular challenges, segment your communication to that carrier. Tagging your clients as VIPs. You don't want to treat the client who is a high service but low value client the same as a high service, high value client. Make sure that you're using segmentation. We recommend like tagging your clients as VIPs or a AAA, AA, single A client. Keep it positive. or by premium. Segment your clients who are above a certain threshold of premium for specific communication or certain types of reach out. Use segmentation to your advantage. Are there any other ways to segment and slice and dice the data that's available in agency management systems to target those communications more effectively?
Oh my goodness. I think just thinking how when you start talking about VIPs, AAAs, the first thing that comes to my mind is I think you worry, especially I think as an agency principal owner, you get that. But sometimes when it boils down to our producers and CSRs, they worry. And I think I always like to say everybody gets treated fairly, not everybody gets treated equally, if that makes sense. So, higher value clients. So thinking about premium levels, those people that, and not just a policy premium, Lucas, think about the account value, right? So you should be able to segment. We want to segment at account value. Okay, what are the, maybe we're going to spend a little bit more time to keep those people. Certainly carrier, certain policy types are things that we should be segmenting by at this stage to communicate with. I'm sure there's lots of more. Those are the ones I think in a hard market come flying to the top of mind.
Right, absolutely. And I'm happy to jump in and demo some of this in the Q&A session if anybody has questions. Let's keep it moving. Timing is everything when it comes to communication. One thing that we've learned is emails that are well-timed receive almost 3 times the open rate. That's like 3 times the engagement as an email that's just sent randomly without a special event that it's related to. So it's very important to time your communication when it's relevant to your clients. What are some possible ways to do that when it comes to the hard market? How would you time some of this client education, some of this outreach communication?
Sometimes it is tough because you may get, for lack of a better term, last minute notification of certain things. But I think if we can strategically automate a timing of in conjunction with education and information gather. So I think the first thing that comes to mind is, as we know, maybe a carrier is having some major increases or going to stop writing or leaving. Something like a mid-year check-in is a great opportunity for you to educate somebody before it's like panic time, but also gather information so that as a producer or CSR or somebody with an agency, I can then update the file and have time to effectively remarket as I need to. I think that's a great example. So take advantage of the time that you have, start the education process and then information gather. So you don't run in the situation where we got T-2 weeks to figure something out and we don't have the information we need.
Yeah, coming back to that, the first point we made, if everything is an emergency, they're not going to be able to be proactive to build the automation so that you can maximize your profits and return during this hard market cycle. So getting ahead of this with good timing could unlock more time for you to be proactive and make an impact to your revenue.
Well, and there's also the opportunity for very much a lot of growth here, not just because a carrier is increasing 20%, 30%. The reality is oftentimes, a carrier may turn off the faucet for new business, net new. They're very open to account rounding. So a perfect opportunity for you to take advantage as an agency of, hey, I may not be able to write all this new business that I want to or accustomed to, but I have a true acre of diamonds in my existing book of business of people that are monoline that I know, while this carrier is not accepting new business, I can bring in that other line of business, whether it's something on the commercial line side or certainly on the personal line side to round out that account. Timing can be everything there to be nurturing leading up to a renewal or quarterly talking to, because you're not sure necessarily what an X date on that other line of business would be. So a real opportunity for an agency with some timely communication to really grow and what can be a tough time to grow with respect to client and policy count, not necessarily in premium or revenue.
Right. Exactly. This is the time to focus on keeping your clients and getting more policies per client, hanging on to the business that you have to keep your revenue up and not going down. So happy to jump in during the Q&A section. And if anybody has a question anytime, just raise your hand, give us a shout. I'm happy to jump in and show you how we can do some of these things in Fuse and how the tools can help with your timing and your client education strategy. I've got one more here to chat about. This is a great time to automate. So we have, there are rates going up and you want to get ahead of that. You want to handle clients who are seeing rate increases. You want to be proactive in client education and communication, time it right. But sometimes a carrier pulls out and then you have a bunch of work to do. You've got to rewrite a book of business. How can client communication technology help get ahead of that to minimize the impact, really streamline efficiency and operations so that it doesn't become a huge disruption? We were chatting earlier about this, maybe leveraging some campaigns with forms to collect the necessary information to help automate that. Fuse could play a role in that.
Oh, Fuse absolutely plays a role in that. I think this gets back to, we've always maintained there's 4 key things. You need to be relevant, timely, personalized, and with all your communications needs to come from a trustworthy source. Like, this is it. Like, there's no more timely, relevant communication, the opportunity to personalize it, the ability to segment out that carrier, those specific policies, and to gather the information. Like, I can't imagine a producer or CSR looking forward to coming to work and think, man, I cannot wait to pick up the phone and call these 30, 40 clients that I need all this information for. When the reality is the vast majority of those clients probably don't want a phone call, even if they understand that it's important. Providing them with the ease of doing business, like, make it easy to process, make a difficult process easy on everybody. Automate the process for your producers, your CSRs, make it easy. So if you want information from Joel, the client, I can do it tonight when the kids are in bed. Once my sister-in-law's done yelling at me for throwing her in the pool, I can sit down and complete that form and provide you with the information to then do it better, protect me better down the road. So gathering that information, educating that during that rewrite process should absolutely, I don't know how you do it without being automated, without driving everybody absolutely bonkers, Lucas.
Yeah, it's total chaos. And I hope you all are taking advantage of the tools and the automation capabilities to make it easier for you in this hard time. This could be total chaos.
And if you have the tool, like if you have the tools and you're on this call and like, I'm a Fuse client, and yeah, this makes sense. Like, what do I do? Reach out. We're here. So team at agencyrevolution.com. Lucas and I are here to talk you through and whatever have you, but there's a team of people here that are phenomenal at what they do. They're happy to help you figure it out. So sorry, support and success team, if you're inundated after this webinar, but it's a big part of what we do. So reach out and leverage the resources at your fingertips here.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. And I've got some time as well. So yeah, if there's any questions, I'm happy to walk through some of the more nitty-gritty technical parts of this and show you some of the product capabilities that can unlock and automate some of these processes for you. Questions, answers, I got them.
Jerry, can you show how to? He wants to see it. So perfect.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Great question, Jerry. So yeah, show us an automate, like if we're going to automate an account review, gather some of this information stuff.
Yeah, exactly. We've got some account reviews in here that include forms as well. So let's say it's a commercial lines account review. And this is just a quick preview of that campaign that includes a text message. It's like a half-year check-in text message, it looks like, in addition to a message about 60 days, about the same time, and another message about 60 days before the year. Let's go ahead and customize that real quick.
Do it. And as you're doing that, I think it's important to note that, and Lucas, correct me if I'm wrong, we're getting some feedback from existing clients, and they were actually pleasantly surprised the level. They were getting great open rates and great engagement, but it really amped up when they start combining a text with an email, combining the two together. It really seemed to really add to that engagement.
Yeah, absolutely. People are moving towards this world where it becomes normal to text message with their favorite businesses, the ones that they count on and trust. And we should all be there as well, ready to serve people as they get there. Absolutely. One thing I want to point out is this is a multi-step sequence of communication. Sending a single message isn't enough. Like, emails get lost, messages get lost. To stay top of mind, we gotta send a message a few times. And it's like when you watch Flo on TV. You don't see Flo once. Flo shows up a lot. She's got to get her message across. We do too. We need to be there to reach our clients. So that's why we've designed this as a multi-step sequence to be in front of our clients in case they miss the first one.
I would also note here, Lucas, and you'll probably mention this, that so Lucas went into our content library where we have this and many more. We have a robust content library, a content team. Shout out to Johnny and the team out there creating content all the time for us and our clients. But, certain things call for urgency. If a carrier is leaving, you need information. So this is what our team has created. And I would call this like best practices, more of a typical account review with a mid-year check-in, text and email, than something about 60 days prior to renewal. If something is much more urgent and we need to add more steps, there's no limit to how many steps you can add here, Lucas. Like if you want to add more emails, then add more emails. You need to add more text messages, certainly do that. To your point about pipeline, like when people hear pipeline, they think, how do my net new, my walking my prospects? But pipeline could be hugely advantageous for this, to automatically drop people in a pipeline for a CSR. Like these are the people that we haven't got information from, or we need to get information for to effectively remarket, and having a strategic list of people that they need to walk through and to ensure they have communication. So not only the outbound communications here, Jerry asked the question, but for everybody else, the ability to gather that information with an online form that are built in here as well, but also the ability to organize a CSR producer in an effective way for the people that they need to prioritize because renewals coming up or whatever have you. So
yeah, absolutely. Here's just a little demo of that. If you want to like create a lead out of somebody, maybe 60 days before to trigger a phone call to the staff, you can set that up with a pipeline and then have your account rep or your producer, whoever in the agency or a specialist, be the person that follows up with them. So yeah, you can
I would say it wouldn't be uncommon for an agency to have someone that's dedicated to remarketing a given book. So to have that put in their name or whatever have you. Also worth noting, you can adjust the timing on all those, Lucas, as well. So if that's 60 days isn't enough time, you want to time something out to 90 days, we can certainly adjust that.
That's right. And here's an example of how we want to, you can gather information to have your clients track, like fill out a form to track that information to help facilitate a renewal or a rewrite if you needed to. So we've got, these are created automatically, and I got to hit launch on this thing. Sorry, ignore that. Boom. So you can have a form automatically filled out and have the clients gather and share that information if there's any changes in their business that would affect that renewal. And the same for a rewrite. If you want to ask a few underwriting questions because you have to rewrite that business, modify this campaign and put those underwriting questions into the form. All of this can be changed. All the form fields is what the form looks like. You can add more to that to optimize that and get that information.
I was going to say, I think it's worth noting that if you don't know this, apologies, we build solutions specifically for this industry. So when we're building this, it's not built like, oh, this will work for insurance too. This is built specifically for independent insurance agencies. And so the fact that our content team has created the campaign, they've created the forms, but they're all completely customizable. So if there's specific questions that you need to have asked because this line of business or this carrier needs it, we can certainly you can certainly customize those questions and get those collected as part of this process. So it's not we make it as easy as possible for you, but we understand that every agency is a little bit different. Jerry, great question. How do we keep track of what has been sent to a customer? So multiple different ways there, Jerry, and really is agency management system dependent, but generally speaking, for everybody within the Fuse platform, we keep a detailed activity stream, just like you would see in any management system. So whether it has two-way capability, your management system, we have two-way or not, or we want to blind CC a producer so they know what's going on. Within this solution, there is a detailed activity stream, so you can always see what has been sent, how many times, when it was sent, just like you would see in your management system. So date and time stamped, everything is documented here for E&O purposes for obvious reason. But as Lucas is showing here now, if you're in a situation where we don't have two-way and it's absolutely critical that you want something documented in a management system, we can blind CC anybody in an outbound communication. So you may blind CC the account rep, they can easily attach that email. So that's documented right within your management system as well. So multiple different ways, depending what it is that you're truly trying to accomplish. If you're trying to accomplish just letting people know what's going on, we can blind CC a little bit of, hey, FYI to the producer, we're doing this automatically for you. And for E&O purposes, we keep that documented within the solution itself.
And we support writebacks for Hawksoft, QQ Catalyst, and AMS 360. So we'll automatically put the information back into those 3 agency management systems.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I appreciate any other questions, please fire away. Lucas, thank you for showing off the automation there. So the reality, the only thing I guess we didn't get into there is the ability to segment and target. The campaign that Lucas showed was obviously a generic commercial lines. We can very easily target by carrier, line of business. So you can automate that process very quickly Lucas is going to edit the audience very, very quickly and easily. So if we want to edit that and add a carrier field, we can certainly do that.
Yeah, we can come back here and say, let's just target a specific carrier in here. Let's just pick that carrier, type in their name, Travelers, for example. Boom. Now I'm targeting Travelers insurance, if I have any Travelers insurance. This is a demo account. So
demo account.
Here, just like that.
Easily target carrier, easily target line of business, producer. It might be state to state. You may be an agency that is licensed in multiple states and have a carrier leaving one state, but it's not necessarily whole business. So we can easily target by state as well. So everybody that has a given policy with a carrier that's in a specific state, that's important too. We didn't really get into that when we talked about the segmentation, Lucas, but I think more and more agencies are writing business across multiple states, if not nationally. So having that ability. So
when I think about it, Joel, I think like Fuse is like the tool you need during a hard market if you're an agency, because it helps you with client communication and it helps you with that slice and dicing on the agency management system data. Like it brings it all together with the campaigns that we have. So for a hard market, when it comes to engaging your clients, being efficient, Fuse can really take care of a lot of that. And when you bundle it with the Forge website, it's a great, beautiful combination.
Absolutely. I'll go a little old school on you, not to cherry on top of you, but no better time to build that fence around the herd, right? If you can build that fence around your herd, your client herd, the better you can keep them close, keep them in. And as rates increase, and things get tougher, it's only going to behoove you as the agency. And like I said, I do believe like there's no better time to be an independent insurance agent than during a hard market. I did not say it was going to be easy. I said there's no better time, but you put in the work and do what it is. Jerry's got another great question. With the segmentation, are you able to slice it down to commission and premium numbers, like send out to our clients with commission of more than 2,000? Lucas, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know that we commissions, but we could do some quick math there on a premium level pretty quick.
Yeah. One of the cool things is we can aggregate premium at the account level. So you don't have to look for a specific policy. You can see all the policy total premium they have. We can also do it on the per policy level. So you just click on the premium field here, and you can say premium is greater than or equal to, type in your dollar amount, whatever that might be, and that'll return all the clients with that much premium with you.
So Jerry, for you specifically, how I see this, if you're looking for certain clients that are a certain premium level, you may say, hey, they're a commercial lines client. You probably know your average premium or average commission. On the flip side, personal lines may vary, but let's say at an agency level, you're on average 14%. So we need people that have total premium levels over a certain amount, and that'll give us a pretty accurate, a very accurate indication of our high level clients. So great questions, Jerry. I can't wait for our phone call in 21 minutes now to be short. So, anywho, Lucas, I don't know if there's any other questions. If I think it's, once again, you need to stay in front of, be proactive with your clients. If you're worried about things like, my clients are going to ask questions, or what if this, it's time to poke the bear. Okay, that's what I'm trying to tell you. It's time. It's always been time to poke the bear, but tell them if you want people to stay and you don't want people to come calling, emailing, running into your office with their hair on fire, then you need to stay ahead of it. Show value. That's why people explain to them the perils or the potential perils of of leaving, whether it's yourself or going to another carrier. And at least at that point, they can't come say, why didn't you tell me? You can say, I did. And I always say at some point they'll value that. Even if they choose, at the end of the day, some people will choose to leave, but they'll say, hey, the only person that actually told me this would happen is that person. And I'm going to, someday I'd love to go back and do business. Or your existing clients will say, thank you. All my other friends were panicking and I didn't panic because I had you. Now's the time. So
now's the time.
Lucas, thank you for your
questions. Yeah, you guys have any product requests, any questions, any feedback for us before we call it quits for the day? Send you underway.
Feedback. We love feedback.
I love conversation. Okay. All right.
I don't see anything coming in.
Jerry, I think he's got a lot of questions for you.
Yeah. Product request. Jerry, he wants Epic right back. And
right on.
We'll have that conversation, Jerry, here in a few minutes. So
excellent. Yeah, then we all want that.
Yeah.
Cool. All right,
awesome.
y'all. Take care, everybody.
Appreciate your time, Lucas. Appreciate everyone's time. We'll talk to you soon. Check us out next month. Same, I was about to say same time, same place, but it'll be a little same time of day, different date, but look for the next pit stop. Anything you'd like to hear us talk about or anything you have questions, reach out to us. Once again, the pit stop is all about answering your questions and helping you grow. So thanks again, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.